Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and today we have a replay for you from the saltiest of Latvian tankers. In fact, if I could sink a mineshaft into this fella, I'd be able to double the output of the salt mines for a year. This is of course the legendary Sir Foch. It's a tier 10 battle on mines, a very small map, and some very big tanks, and high tier battles on this map tend to be over rather quickly. This one, no exception. Sir Foch in his E100. It's a much better tank these days than when I first got my hands on it. In fact, the E100 was my very first tier 10. And the 150mm gun back then had tier 8 medium tank levels of penetration, which of course encouraged everybody to fire nothing but gold ammunition in this thing, almost as if it had been designed that way. These days, 246mm of penetration, exactly the same as the 128mm alternative gun, which is still the better choice when it comes to accuracy and aiming time, but the reload isn't that much better, and it definitely can't compete when it comes to alpha damage, with this 150mm gun definitely having the superior fear factor in the form of an almighty 750 average damage bitch slapping. Foch is running a 50-50 loadout of armour piercing and high explosive, with a small dose of 5 premium high explosive anti-tank rounds thrown in case of emergency. He's dutifully trundling forward up to heavy tank corner here on mines. This is where heavy tanks used to go in order to get killed by artillery, but with World of Tanks 1.0 and the addition of the ruined fortress on the rock face just to his left, this spot is nowhere near as vulnerable to artillery as it used to be. The E100 of course is an extremely tough tank. If you keep it angled, it's very boxy, which doesn't explain what's going on with this enemy E100. I mean, Foch already hit him once and failed to penetrate because he was angled, and Foch was spotted the whole time, so the E100 has absolutely no excuse for not knowing that he was about to roll out sideways on in front of a 750 alpha damage gun. And then he goes ahead and does it again. While we're on the subject of tunnel vision, the Badger is completely ignoring the fact that he could be finishing off the E100 and instead is continuing to do no damage to the T110E3 that he's been shooting at for this entire game. Also completely ignoring the T62A that Foch has just clocked, threatening to put shots into them from above on the hill up there. Foch manages to get an extremely nice shot into the T62A and encourages him to back off. Unfortunately, while all of this has been going on, the team have been hemorrhaging tanks at a steady rate, and when you start to lose on mines, because it is such a small map, you tend to start losing very, very quickly. Can Foch get a kill here? Be nice. If he gets in any closer to the rock, he's not going to have the gun elevation, and they're backing off anyway, so... Hey Foch, a third of your team are dead for the loss of only one enemy tank, and the enemy team completely dominate the middle of the map. What are you going to do about it? Good question, Jingles. Glad you asked, he said, except in a Latvian accent.
Good question, Jingles. Glad you asked.
Yeah, more like that. Wow, it's like he's in the room. Well, I suspect he's decided that since nobody else on the team wants to clear the top of the hill, or possibly because everybody else on the team who tried has failed and died, Foch... Oh. Wrong time, wrong place, son. Yeah, Foch is going to clear the hill himself. There's just one small issue, just one teeny tiny problemette. And that's the 53 TP dug in on the other side of the rock. He's going to have to be dealt with, or at the very least encouraged to not be there, before Foch can get up the hill. Fortunately, even though Foch missed his shot, the 53 TP has been taken out by the Scorpion G and the Jagdtiger camp in the K-line, which should mean Foch is free to advance and clear out the hill. Whole bunch of tanks here that are probably not looking forward to a close-range encounter with an E100. Two tanks up here. The T10's a one-shot, the Leopard prototype isn't. Foch puts a shot into the Leopard prototype, damaging its ammo rack. How do you know he damages ammo rack? It's a Leopard prototype, it drives over rough ground and it gets a damaged ammo rack. Foch falling back, hoping to sucker them into coming out, so that the 121 can help him, and the 121 is keen to help. Except, wait, what you... No, your armor's in the front. Turn the tank around. Turn... That's better. Not straight on. Angle, or they'll get you lower... Never mind. Now there's something about to happen here that I want you to pay very close attention to. Foch is on 1896 health, and he rams and kills the Leopard prototype with the ram and suffers 0 damage from it. He's still on 1896 health. Now, I'm not suggesting there's anything wrong with that. The Leopard is a 40-ton tank, the E100 is a 130-ton tank, but remember that. Rammed a 40-ton tank, took no damage. Nice kill on the 7032, hasn't done much to even up the odds because he's only got 3 surviving teammates, and now he's got a T62A in front of him and an E100. No, he hasn't, he's got a T62A behind him and an E100 in front of him. He's going to kill the T62A first because you can angle against the E100 and it's difficult to angle against a rapidly manoeuvring, rapid-firing medium tank behind you. He's on 5,500 damage, he's got 4 kills, but he's going to need to do a lot better than that if he's going to win this match. The enemy E100 is a one-shot. He's going for the turret ring, doesn't get the shot. Backs off, angles. Enemy E100 does take a hit. Doesn't do any damage, looked like high explosive from the LT-432 down at the southwest, but the second shot does do nearly 200 damage, leaving the E100 on 18 health. Foch goes for the ram. E100 obliges him by moving forward at the last second to meet him. Only takes 2 damage from the ram. Foch takes 80. Something seems a little off in the numbers there. They're both the same tank. They both rammed each other from the front, and one took 40 times as much damage as the other. Okay. That enemy E50 is going to be a bit of a problem. Still, at least Foch still has 2 surviving teammates. Me and my big mouth. Well, they do say lightning never strikes twice in the same place. At least Foch still has 1 surviving teammate. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Never mind Foch, if we learnt nothing else from watching the Star Wars prequels, it's that whoever has the high ground wins, right? Unless, of course, there's a T110E3 looking at them. Holy shit. Yeah. Let's not push our luck on the corner. He's actually not in that bad a situation, because there's no other way up here other than up there. So he might be outnumbered 5 to 1, but he knows which direction they have to approach him from. It's just a shame that his gun has a 16 to 17 second reload. Yeah. So if they all come up here at once, and there's 5 of them, he'll kill one of them, probably. But then the rest of them have at least 16 seconds to finish off his remaining 975 health. And Foch is expecting them to do exactly that. His spider sense is tingling, and yep, there goes the E3. So that's useful, because the E3 could take off 80% of his surviving health in 1 shot. The T-57 Heavy is going to be a bit of a problem as well, because he can do 975 damage and another 300 in the space of about 5 seconds. Jagdpanther 2, Rheinmetall Borsig, not so much. I mean, you have to respect their guns. They can do a lot of damage in 1 hit, but they have to get the right shot. "Ha-ha!" yells the Rheinmetall Borsig. "He's just fired! We've got him now, boys! Who's with me?" And his team replies. Seems to be a lot of that about these days. "No," says the T-57 Heavy. "I'm going to let you Tier 8s go out there and take shots at him when he can't fire back. I, as the single biggest remaining threat to him, am going to wait until he's reloaded his gun, and then I'm going to roll out sideways on in front of it. What do you think of that? Seems like the only fair thing to do." Meanwhile, once again, the Rheinmetall Borsig. "Come on, guys, he's fired. We've got him now." Are you sensing a pattern developing here? Unfortunately for the Borsig, well, good news, bad news situation. Foch didn't kill him outright. But, well, yeah, once again. Try to ram an E100, and you're almost certainly going to come off second best. And once again, who actually know how to fight? The Jagdpanther 2, quite happy to take a hit, he's got the health. The E50 has finally realised that he's got 16 seconds to do whatever the hell he wants after Foch is fired. Unfortunately, what he wants appears to be to run straight into the wreck of a dead tank, rather than using his amazing downhill speed to get around Foch and do some damage from the sides or rear. But wait, what's this? The Jagdpanther 2 is willing to trade a ram against an E100? Doesn't he understand that an E100 has an 80-ton weight and armour advantage over him? Foch is entirely happy to take this one on the nose. What? Really? You know, at this point, I give up trying to work out the ramming damage mechanics. I'm becoming increasingly convinced that they're evaluated simply by somebody in Minsk downing a bottle of vodka, putting on a blindfold and throwing a dart at a dartboard. Sir Foch, on a defeat with over 1,000 base experience and an Ace Tankers badge, 8,700 damage done, and 9 kills, losing out in a RAM against a machine that weighs 80 tons less than his. Foch, you had one job in this battle, get the Pools medal. One job, and you fucked it up. Knowing Foch's reputation for not being afraid to say exactly what he thinks when he thinks it, I would love to have been around on his live stream when this one happened. Still, shout out at least to the Rheinmetall Borsig on the enemy team, who had more balls than the entire rest of his team combined, and commiserations to Foch, because sometimes you just get those games where having 9 kills and doing not far short of 10,000 damage just isn't enough to carry your team to victory. Hope you enjoyed today's video, folks, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.